Hey, MONDOTOYS here, and we're gonna do another ranking video. This is gonna be a short but sweet one with the Figuarts Demon Slayer line. Now, when this line came out, I wasn't super on board, and I wasn't super on board because they weren't using soft goods. I don't know why Tamashii has a weird flip-floppy way of including soft goods in their figures. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You think it would be common sense with some figures, some with others. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Demon Slayer I thought would be a very common sense one to have soft goods, especially because Buzzmod existed I don't know how long before Figuarts started making theirs, but it wasn't a good first impression. But after watching the Demon Slayer movie and realizing my options, looking at the Figuarts line a little closer, I got my hands on the Figuarts Gyu and realized, wow, these figures are actually really good. And the main reason I was attracted to them is because they a lot cleaner and a lot more bold and a lot more sharp than the Buzzmod ones. We'll get into specifics as we go through the figures, but this line has really grown on me is what I'm trying to say. So let's get into the ranking. So before we start ranking them, I do not have all of the figures. I have Tanjiro, Giyu, Rengoku, Akaza, and Zenitsu, but I do not have Shinobu, the new Infinity Castle Tanjiro, or Nezuko. So we're going to go ahead and put these in NA right now. I know the Tanjiro is basically the same thing as this Tanjiro. He just comes with some different faces. To my knowledge, I don't think he has any sort of engineer changes to him. It's just a new figure that costs 2 times the price for whatever reason. All right, so into the actual ranking with our first figure, Tanjiro. And I think we're going to put him in... we're going to put him in 2 for right now. You know, this is a fantastic $35 figure. He was pretty widely available, you know, everywhere at Walmart and Target and Best Buy, and he's a fantastic figure. You know, he comes with quite a bit for a $35 figure. You could tell that Tamashii was really pushing for this figure and really thought it was going to sell well, and it really did, because it sold out for a good bit and then got recently reissued. It's just a really solid figure for what you're paying for, you know? Again, with the soft goods, there's no soft goods. Soft good upgrade for all these figures is a massive upgrade. So I won't try to harp on that too much. All these figures that I have, except for Akaza, do have a soft goods upgrade. So trying to keep that in mind while not being too biased with the additions that I've made, because these figures obviously don't include those. So with the Tanjiro, I do have the Buzzmod one, and this is such a improvement on the visuals of Tanjiro. You know, this Buzzmod Tanjiro has done me very well for the past couple years, but this Tanjiro just looks so much better and so much more like the source material. It's unreal. And all the expressions and the faces, you know, I have a little upgrade on mine with the angry face to have like a flame breathing effect, or I mean a sun breathing effect. But he is just such a fantastic figure for what you're getting. And, you know, even though you're losing out on the soft goods and the effects, in terms of likeness and even engineering, it is just so much better than the Buzzmod. I'm sorry. All right, next up we have Giyu. And like I said earlier, this was the first of the Figuarts Demon Slayer figures that I got. And I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in... Let's go ahead and put this guy in 3. You know, he's pretty similar to Tanjiro. He's taller, which is a problem with the Buzzmod one. The Buzzmod one reuses the same body, and Giyu is the same size as both Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu. You know, it really kind of throws it off because the Giyu is significantly older than Tanjiro, but this is another super solid figure. I mean, he looks absolutely fantastic. The face spread could be a little better. You know, comes with all his hands. He doesn't get as much articulation as Tanjiro, but he's still super fun to pose. He looks fantastic. His Hiyori is incredibly vibrant, and like I keep saying, the likeness is just there, and he just pops on the shelf. Next up, we have Rengoku, and this guy is, you know, I think we're gonna put him 4. He is super close, super close to Giyu. The only thing is that his cape is really bad. This is one of those ones where, you know, I can deal with the plastic Hioris and capes on Tanjiro and Giyu and Zenitsu, but Rengoku's, I don't know what they were doing. That is just such an over-designed whatever brick on a figure that really hinders so much on him. You know, it really hinders so much. And it sucks because he has different engineering from the other two, because he has a different, you know, base. And he can get a lot of range, man. He can get into some really cool poses real easily. You know, stuff you can't do with the Buzzmod. Thankfully, you can take it off, but man, that's such an integral part to his character, and it looks so cool and imposing with it, but it is such a pain to pose, and man, it falls apart at every second that you touch it, and it sucks. So that's why he's below Giyu. And then back on the Buzzmod comparison, this guy looks fantastic. The Buzzmod ones look a little weird. I don't know why. Their faces just look like dolls, you know, like a weird... like a weird kind of bloated Rengoku face. I don't know, it's just not as like sharp as I would like it. You know, I keep using that word sharp, but I mean, it's true. They just look so much more lively and, you know, vibrant. But overall, he is a fantastic figure, a joy to pose. Just that cape is, man, it's a pain. Next up, we have Akaza. He's the first and only demon we have in the entire line. Hopefully they make more down the line, but this guy's gonna be in dead last right now. He looks fantastic, right? This is the one figure where I think the Buzzmod has it beat. In terms of looks, you know, this guy looks good. The Buzzmod looks really good too, but man, the Buzzmod just completely just destroys it because of the accessories and contents that it has. This guy comes with jack. He comes with absolutely nothing. He comes with a couple faces, some open hands, fists, and then one single chopping hand, which makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. This guy is $80. He is the same price as Rengoku and comes with half as much as he does, right? Which makes no sense. They came around the same price too, so it's not even an issue of like, you know, tariffs or anything like that, because I think these figures came out just a bit before that kind of blew up. There's no reason why they couldn't include another chopping hand or more stuff to this figure. Like, this guy can do so much and has shown so much he could do on screen. That would be interesting to add on to the figure. It is just an absolutely bare bones figure for what you're getting, and it really sucks because the base figure itself is really good and you can get into some really fun poses and he's really fun to pose, but that's not gonna save it here, unfortunately. So he's gonna be last. And finally, we have the Zenitsu. And this is very surprising because Zenitsu is one of my least favorite characters in the whole show, in the whole manga. You know, he redeemed himself in the end, you know, being more reliable and extremely less annoying, but this figure is really good. This is a really good figure. Now, this is going to be a little biased because I got mine for basically half off on Mercari because one was quote listed as broken, but it was perfectly fine. This guy I think goes for like 110. You know, if you find him at like GameStop or like if you get him on Big Bad, but I got him for like 53. And man, out of all the figures and the articulation, this guy has some of the best engineering, and I just love the way that he looks. He has the same thing with Akaza where he has these hinges on his legs that kind of swing out a bit to get that extra leverage, but already, man, he can get a really good crunch, really good range. His face selection is good. His hand selection is good. With the sword, you know, looks fantastic. He comes with a lot, and he just looks fantastic. And he's just an absolute, he's just so fun to pose, man. So this is what our list is looking like right now. So we have Zenitsu at 1, Tanjiro at 2, Giyu at 3, Rengoku at 4, and Akaza at 5. I don't know if I'm gonna change this. I think this is good where it is. Like I said, this is unfortunately very biased because I got him for $50 and he normally goes for 100, and I think that's why I feel more, you know, there's more value in that. Tanjiro is a great $35 figure. You know, Giyu is great. He is on the same level as Rengoku. He's around $80 too. You know, his soft goods is a lot more bearable than Rengoku's. Rengoku's also a fantastic figure, but you know, he's down a peg because he has the horrible plastic cape. And then Akaza is dead last because he comes with jack shit, and he's $80 for basically 1/3 of what Tanjiro comes with. But in all, I really hope they do more with this line. You know, I really hope that they get their stuff together in terms of the soft goods. I don't think they will. I think Figuarts is stuck in their ways in terms of this line, in terms of, you know, we're doing plastic, we're going plastic. Who knows? Knowing Tamashi, they might do a random figure. Who knows? They might give the soft goods to Inosuke out of all characters. But I really hope they continue this line and do some characters we see later down the line, you know, some more hype characters. Like neither Buzzmod or Figuarts or anything else, nobody has a Muzan. You know, make more demons. You know, people want these characters. I really hope Tamashii continues this line because, you know, the price may be whatever and the plastic clothing might be whatever, but these figures, the engineering and the looks of them are all there and they're all fantastic. And let me know what you guys think of these figures in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for more Mondo.